Oscar noms reflect the Academy becoming a citizen of the world. I have a problem with that. I have a big problem with that. Alan, you have the notes for the
Yeah.
story. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, and it's very much. Well, give me the notes, and then I'll tell you my take.
All right. The Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences is moving in a markedly international direction, even as U.S. political leadership emphasizes an America First outlook. This year's Oscar nominations are among the most globally inclusive in the Academy's 98-year history. Is that really true? Um, with feature films primarily in languages other than English receiving a total 22 nomination. That figure ties records set in 2023 and 2024, with recognition spread across a wide range of international titles led by Sentimental Value and The Secret Agent. For only the second time, at least one non-English language film appears in every Oscar category. Two such films were nominated for Best Picture, continuing the 8-year streak in which Academy top prizes include at least one international contender. Acting categories also reached historic milestones, with 4 of the 20 nominations going to performances in non-English language films, the highest proportion ever. Notably, Stellan Skarsgård became the first actor nominated in a supporting actor category for a non-English language performance. This surge in international recognition reflects Academy's deliberate diversification since the Oscar So White controversy. For the past decade, the organization expanded its membership to include more women, people of color, and crucially, members based outside the United States. Today, roughly a quarter of the Academy's voters live abroad, making them more comfortable with subtitled films and less inclined to favor English language productions by default. The changing makeup of the Academy has also weakened the predictive power of traditional Oscar precursors. Major Guild Awards, whose voters are overwhelmingly US based, largely ignored non English language films and performances this year. BAFTA offers insight into European tastes, but uses weighted voting systems that differ than the Academy's process, limiting its usefulness as a direct indicator. Critics' Choice and Golden Globes are similarly imperfect predictors because they voted by journalists rather than filmmakers, and journalists make up virtually none of the Academy's memberships. While the Golden Globes may have some influence this year due to timing, their broader conclusion is clear. No single precursor award body now reliably reflects Academy's increasingly international preferences.
I have a problem with this. This is the reason that the Oscars are becoming less relevant. Now, I applaud there is a category in the Oscars called Best International Film. If your movie has subtitles, put it in international film. If it's in another language, put it in international film. I love foreign films. Or they call them world. They call them, you can't call them foreign films anymore. That's what they were called for years. Now they're called world cinema or something polite like that. But as far as I'm concerned, movies like that deserve recognition. Great. And the movie that wins the Oscar or is eligible for Best Picture should be an American movie, because we are fast losing our identity. There are hardly any films you could say this is a very much an American movie. There used to be films like that. The movie with Kevin Costner, which won Best Picture, Dances with Wolves, is very American. It's a sort of a twist on American history. It's a Western set at the end of the Civil War. There's so much about the movie Dances with Wolves that is American. Only an American could make that movie in America. And we need to get back to that. And we are fast losing a national identity that we can all be proud of. And let me give you an example. Other countries have their own version equivalent of the Oscars. In the UK and England, they have the BAFTAs. In France, they have the César Awards. In Spain, they have the Goya Awards. In Italy, they have the David D. Donatello Awards, named after, of course, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. There are other countries have their own awards. In Germany, they have the Deutscher Filmpreis or the Lolas. In Canada, they have the Canada Screen Awards. You know what's eligible for the Canada Screen Awards? Canadian movies. No American movie is eligible for an award for the Canadian Screen Awards. In Japan, they have the Japan Academy Film Prize. In India, they have the National Film Awards. In China, they have the Golden Rooster Awards. In South Korea, they have the Grand Bell Awards. In Mexico, they have the Ariel Awards. Ariel, probably named after the character from The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, yes.
In Australia, they have the ACTA Awards, which is the Australian Academy of Cinema and Television Arts. And in Europe, which is kind of a regional, they do the European Film Awards. The Oscar nominees for Best Pictures should be American movies, full stop. It is so important we acknowledge ourselves and we support American filmmakers telling stories that speak to Americans. We used to do that. And I think this is a horrible mistake that is making the Oscars more and more irrelevant and diluting it to the point where I saw multiple posts about what the heck are, no one's seen these movies. No one has seen most of these movies. No one has seen Secret Agent. No matter, and look, that movie should win for Best International Film. That's great. But Best Picture should be reserved for American movies. Alan, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are you are 100% wrong on this.
Really?
The Oscars, look, first of all, you let me address the other countries. Well, this is America, goddammit. You know, we are better than other countries. And the reality is we're not filming movies in America anymore. So right off the bat, no movie would ever be nominated for Best Picture because no one's shooting in America. The other thing is, you know, to me, the Academy Awards is Best Picture. It's best, meaning to me, it's the pictures and movies that we saw in our theaters here in America. And that list, you know, maybe they were out for a week or two, but they were shown in America. You know, the other thing is, you know, a lot of American films that you would call American films shot by people from Europe, starring people from Europe. You know, Australia, shot by Australians, starring Australians. But you know, I think we're conflating this idea of America versus English language movies. Because I think, and then, okay, you know, I think we're confusing the fact that because, you know, we'll nominate a British film because it's English language, more accessible to Americans. The other thing is, and I had, this is a really good point, which I'm trying to remember. This to look at this year and say that there are few American movies on there. Yeah, guess what? There weren't a lot of movies coming out this year. You know, the fact that they point out here that for the last 8 years, international films have been, at least one has been in the Best Picture nomination. Well, there's 10 movies they have to pick from. So yeah, an international film slips in. This year, look, we're only talking about 2 movies this year: Sinners and One Battle After Another. F1 you could throw in there, but I hate to break it to you, F1 was barely filmed in America.
True.
So it's kind of like I just wanted to be clean and pure and just say, if American audiences could have seen your movie in our theaters this year, you are eligible for nomination, and then let the best film win.
Well, it's going to affect the ratings.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you directly. Let me ask you directly.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie Sentimental Value?
No.
It's nominated in multiple categories.
It's a
At the
European
Golden
film.
Globes, Stellan Skarsgård won Best Actor. It's nominated for Best Picture. It is your job, and I'm only pointing this out. It's your job to see the movies, and even you didn't see this.
Yeah, but it
Swedish
wasn't
film.
nominated at CCA for Best Picture. It was Best International, which
You probably should have seen it.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I
the
don't
point,
blame
hold
you
on,
for not
you're
seeing
making
it.
the real. I mean, think about it. Sentimental value. It's a European film starring nothing but white people. I mean,
Yeah.
that's I mean,
Let's
that's
go.
diversity. That's diversity.
Look, I saw it. It's way overrated. It's super depressing. It's not gonna resonate with people. That a lot of the materials are not necessarily objectionable. It's just it's a small family story that's super depressing, and I don't think it's gonna resonate with people. It's not like a hopeful or uplifting thing necessarily. I guess you could argue it is. I would say no, but I mean, I don't know, Alan. That's my take on it. And I would just like to see filmmakers rewarded for making movies that actually make us feel proud of this country and what we've accomplished.
Yeah. I'll just end by saying most American movies are not made in America. They're made in
You're not
Romania. They're made in Canada.
well. You're not wrong about that, and I can't argue with you.
And to blame the Oscars, yes, Oscar numbers will be down, and again, theaters are down. It's Hollywood's fault because they're not producing good movies. There doesn't look more American films in the top picture category. What films? What films are we going to put in there that is going to move the needle?
Well, those movies don't even get recognition. But
and now they do. I mean, that's the one thing the Oscars does. It gives movies that need recognition, even though Song Sung Blue
Song Sung Blue should have been nominated for Best Picture.
It should have been,
and kicked out Sentimental Value. It's a wholly American movie about working class blue collar people. Song Sung Blue should have been Best Picture. Hugh Jackman, Best Actor. In another time, it would have been. It's a very American story about going for your dream, rolling up your sleeves, doing hard work, trying to make a living, and not giving up on your dreams. That's an American story. The fact that Song Sung Blue isn't even nominated for Best Picture when there are 10 nominees, it's shameful. Yeah. And it's why the Oscars will continue to become less relevant and less viewed and less culturally significant event.
Yeah. Ironically, the most American movie on that list is Sinners.